ganó una carrera como caballo, pero es buena gente. Pero muy bien. Saludos. Ahora sí, qué bueno, mira, llegó Mr. Solís just
in time.
on time.
Very good, sir.
Bueno, members of the committee, we're going to start this meeting today, Thursday, September the 12th. It is.
Let me see if it's ready the recording.
It is 12 noon. And the meeting is being held at 5816 Dorothy Avenue, Laredo, Texas. I'm gonna call you. Roll call. Mr. Carlos Blanco. Present. Mr. Ricardo Solís.
Present.
Mr. Jorge Dominguez.
Present.
Eduardo Ochoa.
He's going to be here, but he's not here yet.
Okay. Reynaldo Vélez.
Present.
Luis Ramirez.
He confirmed as well.
Okay. Okay. So as of now, they're both absent, and if they show up, we'll change it. Okay. Mr. Garcia is present, and the young ladies from the department are here also. Marito Benavides present. Okay, do we have copies? Were y'all able to see the minutes for the meeting?
I did not see.
I don't think we had a meeting last month because there was no quorum.
Okay.
Yeah, but from the previous meeting, I think those were issued.
Were issued out, okay.
Were issued out.
Okay, yes. Let me ask, any questions regarding those? We good?
No questions.
Okay, I need the approval of those minutes.
Motion?
There's a motion on the floor.
Second.
There's a second by Mr. Dominguez. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Communications, Mr. Garcia?
Communications, just to let you know, there was the Health Coalition that we had a little meeting yesterday regarding, it was primarily based on air quality, but they also brought up water issues, water quality, about improving, being with the drought, the volume of water that's in the river, it affects water quality. So we need to make sure that, we protect that water quality. Because from storm runoff, water being discharged from the plants, because we're going to be looking at technologies like reuse and to be aware of that resource, protect the resource. And that's something that I mentioned during the meeting. There was a meeting that was held in Far, Texas. I think Angie and Tony Mora attended, and Sheila. And I think that went well. I think there was a big attendance. Issues about funding were addressed, and I think that the concern in the valley, we're trying to make sure that everybody, when we're talking about these different stages of water conservation, that we're all consistent and the same. In other words, they don't have to be similar, but if we're in stage 2, everybody should be in stage 2 in the watershed. Those are things that we're discussing. And funding for future projects and different discussions were addressed too. But it's something that will, I guess, will be further discussed. That's all that I have as far as communications.
I guess any fallout from the budget meetings or anything like that?
Everything at the budget workshop got approved. So, everything that we've asked for, they got approved. We're going to get 19 new positions for the wastewater treatment plant because we are putting in the Manadas is coming online in 2025, and then we did get 4 more for one of our building divisions. Are we still short on staff? Yes. Will we ever fulfill all the staffing needs? Probably not. But we did get what we needed, and we do have. We are currently we did hire Raftelis to do a water and wastewater rate study. That's currently in progress. Hopefully they'll have some results for us in November, December. And that'll let us know whether we need to increase our rates or not.
So then, what we were talking about before, those incremental rate changes that were already in the ordinance, that's still going through.
That's, so this coming October 1st, the rates will increase again by whatever is in, which is 5% for water, 6% for sewer. That will continue to go. The study's going to dictate whether that rate needs to be increased or, yeah, what that rate
And,
is.
and let me ask you, just if you don't mind.
One,
Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
just one more thing. And then all the project-specific stuff, the CIP stuff you guys were asking for, any of that?
We are selling a bond right now. There's gonna be the bond sale on Monday in Dallas. They're gonna start selling the bond. It is gonna be for $94,150,000. It's going to be about $57 million for water, $37 million for sewer, and it does have a list of all the different projects that will be funded. Secondary water is also on there. I think it has like $5 million. We've got a lot of utility relocation projects, and we have water line projects, sewer projects, issues at the Pico plant that need to be fixed. You know, we have a list if you want it. We could supply you with the list of the different projects that it's going to fund. But like right now, TxDOT is doing a lot of the water lines, so we have to relocate our water line. So that a lot of those are relocations because of projects. Like I know we have a relocation on Calton that's finally gonna come to fruition. That's been on there since forever. And we need to relocate some on the loop, and I think we have some on US 59 as well.
Thank you.
And it was just kind of like a follow-up on when you said the rate increases that, this rate increases of the 5% is gonna go until what year? Because I do recall it was
supposed to have stopped in 2023, but council approved that it can continue until the rate study results come in, and then to determine what the rate study says.
okay, yeah, because I do recall back then that we approved for 20 years that it was gonna be,
It was gonna go through all the way through 2037.
okay.
But that was, in 2023, it was gonna drop to 3%, but we asked council not to drop it and to maintain at 5 and 6, and that is still in effect until the study dictates where the rates really should be, and if they adopt
So
them.
then it's 2037.
Yes.
That was my question. Not 2023. Okay, yeah, because people
No,
ask.
2023 was, the rate was just gonna
Yeah,
drop to
yeah.
3%.
Yeah.
But it would continue up until 2037.
Yeah, because I'm always asking, I always tell them, just continue going.
Well, as your demand for water increases and
I get it, you know, as, you know, because we asked for a pay raise, so, you know, because it is what it is. Yeah, thank you very much, and that was kind of like a follow-up. Mr. Rodriguez?
Real quick, I've heard this before, on areas where we have a complex, multifamily, but they're individual owners of the property. And I had a call yesterday about one of the constituents. He said, what's gonna happen with the rates? And I said, well, they're gonna go up. I know that for sure. And also, the limitations on the water usage is also gonna be. It seems that they're gonna look individually at each of the complexes and then decide how they were gonna be impacted. We would go to stage 3. That's what I understood. But they were actually asking why they were being charged a commercial rate when they own the property. It's like multifamily, multi-owners, different than if it was condos, rentals, apartments, so on and so forth. I researched a little bit, and the rate applies perfectly and directly when it's an apartment complex, when they use that for rentals. But I noticed that when it goes on owners, as townhomes, where each of them own, but they do not have a separate meter, okay? Why is the rate being applied as commercial? Shouldn't it be residential because they own the property? I meant to call you, and I didn't get a chance because it was I just got the call yesterday. If that can be looked into it, Mr. Sherman, I would like to know if that's something that could be adjusted only where the residents are owners, because I already understand that if it's an apartment complex and they're renting, everybody's renting, then it's a different ballgame. But on this particular instance, we have several areas where we might have multifamily of residents owners that live there, and they're paying the commercial rate. So that would be different than the residential rate that the homeowners use. So it doesn't make a difference because they're still paying taxes, individual taxes, and they're being owners. They pay property taxes and they pay the services and so on and so forth. So if we can get a clarification, I would really appreciate it.
I know, if sorry, real quickly, I just want to let the record reflect that Mr. Luis Ramirez is present.
No mean,
Okay, regarding the meter.
Oh, yeah, yes. That you're here. That you're here, because I just want to physically I am right now. No, the thing is that, I just want to make sure, because, you know, we discussed this about the absence.
The record,
So I
let
want
the
to,
record know.
yeah.
okay.
But regarding, regarding, if it's an individual meter, it'll be, as residential, it'll be a residential rate, is the way I understand it. It's when it's considered an apartment unit where it's either master meter and they don't identify as a single user and not as residential, if it's commercial or something like that.
We should probably fill out the application.
But let me review the ordinance and I'll bring it back as an item.
Next meeting. Okay.
Well, I do wanna just say something from a.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Ashton. Go ahead.
From a code perspective, obviously, residential code is single and two-family dwelling units. So if you're considered a single-family dwelling, technically you're considered residential.
Yes.
So from that standpoint, I agree. If I'm a townhome, I should be paying residential rate, I shouldn't be paying.
And I'm gonna add, in the fire department, when we do reports for fire calls, those places are considered multifamily.
Really?
Yes. We don't write them down, we don't report them as single family. They're by the state, when we report that we want to calls there, they're multifamily dwelling. They're not single family, single residential. I don't know what that has anything to do with it.
The thing in the billing side is whether it's identified as residential or commercial. That's the only thing, because an individual meter, single unit will be considered residential if it's residential.
Okay.
I've been real brief, Madam. So, just so I can have an answer, and that, something that I can tell them, look, this is what it is, because what they're saying is exactly what he mentioned. He said, if this is residential, and I'm the owner, and I'm paying property taxes, I'm not as a rental, but as an owner. But if you can bring clarification, you can call me.
Yeah, I'll bring it so that everybody has it.
Of course.
The other communication, something that I just forgot, I don't know if everybody's heard about the news that happened, there was an incident at the Manaus wastewater treatment plant.
Yes.
Contractor, one of his employees was in an accident, drowned from my understanding. And, at first there was word that it was a city employee, but it's not. So just to let you know, it's under investigation, it's an accident. And, just, sad, tragic that it happened. But just to let you know that it happened at the Manaus wastewater treatment plant site. And whatever it was, just to let you know.
And Mr. Chairman, just when you mentioned, I know there was a meeting yesterday that you mentioned, Arturo. If they can relay that they were invited, if anything that is regarding whoever wants to go or can go, I mean, I would have liked to be there. But we can do that in the future if there's going to be a meeting where utilities are going to be discussed. I don't know if it was posted or it was something that they could
Are you
put
talking about
out.
the water symposium?
That was the health department.
Oh,
No, yesterday.
Oh, yesterday, oh, okay.
That was done by the health department, it was a binational water thing.
I noticed.
I'll let them know, I'll let Dr. Wood.
Thank you. Thank
Thank you,
you.
Mr. Rodriguez. Mr. Blanco?
Mr. Garcia, has the city council shown any consideration or intent to move up the items in the agenda so you guys can have a report earlier than just always being in the last part of the meetings?
Well, it was presented to management, but it's at the discretion of the council.
Discussion was canceled. Okay, well,
Or it's at the discretion of the council. In other words, they have to decide where they want.
right, because I think you said that it has something to do with the alphabet?
It's in alphabetical order, but it's on the consent agenda. So the way it works is, the way it's been working is the mayor brings up his items, council maybe brings up their items, we discuss the items, and then they go through the introductory ordinances, the public hearings, the final readings, and then they go through the consent agenda, and then, but with the consent agenda, it just goes, okay, let me approve items 1, 2, 3, 4, does anybody want, like, if anybody wants to stop one, they do, and then at that point, you know, I guess it doesn't really matter if we're at the end or not, because it's the consent agenda, they don't normally highlight something. Now, if you're talking about the utility staff report, then that's separate, right? But the agenda item itself, they are in alphabetical order, but it's the consent agenda as a whole. They start numbering them and they start calling them out, and it's like, okay, does anybody have any questions? And they can choose to pull out an item if they wanna have discussion on it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Blanco.
You're welcome. Mr. Chair.
Okay, now we're gonna go into the secondary water, item number 5.
Okay, secondary water, I just wanted to let you know that I'm working right now with the United States Geological Service, the USGS, and we're gonna be using them as an expert for us to evaluate the geological formations, the underground formations for groundwater in the area. San Antonio uses USGS also to evaluate their groundwater, their aquifer. They've been doing it for the last, I'll say 10+ years. There'll be a resource that we'll have, because we need to monitor how much water is here, how it recharges, the chemistry of it, how it reacts, how it blends with our water. There's a lot of things that have to be evaluated before we make any decisions, what we can do with the groundwater here. So that's something that I'll be bringing, and I'll ask them to come by and give a presentation of the services they provide. And it's gonna be a resource that we're gonna develop that's gonna be ongoing. So as far as secondary, that's a resource that we're gonna have. We are doing projects as far as the ASR and also doing the alluvial groundwater wells. They'll be helping in developing that. The other item that we're working on is the quirk, that through the NADVEC, that's ongoing. So those are the projects that we have as far as secondary water. And we are getting interest from other groundwater owners that want to provide water to the area. And once those proposals come in, I guess we'll discuss those.
Any questions for Mr. Garcia regarding the secondary water source? No, we're good? Thank you, Mr. Garcia.
You're welcome.
Item number 6 is the Amistad Water Partnership.
Amistad.
Agenda.
The partnership, that was that meeting that we had in Project.
Okay.
Okay, so just so that you know, they're trying to probably have another meeting, and probably around Eagle Pass, or even near, the Rio, so that we can see the Amistad Reservoir.
You don't wanna see. So sad.
But, just to let you know, the Amistad has been gaining, we've been gaining a little bit,
Right.
about 1/10% every day, so it's
What was that percentage again, Mr. Garcia?
1/10%.
A tenth of a percent.
It's been the rains, the recent rains, it's recharging the ground, because there's a spring in Amistad that produces about, initially it was producing around 90 million gallons, but because the dam was built, it's producing anywhere from 40 to 45 million gallons a day. So that area is being recharged with the rain that's happening, it's recharging, so it's helping a little bit. And hopefully, we continue to get more rains, it helps.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Touching upon that a little bit, you mentioned earlier about the watershed downriver, right? Everybody needs to be trying to be on the same Does this include the cities on the Mexican side, or just?
Well, it's pretty much just our side, but we are discussing practices. In fact, that binational symposium that we had yesterday, that was discussed about all being on the same page. Because it's one river,
Right.
and that's, in fact, that's a statement I made, un rio. And it's a matter of protecting it, managing it, and knowing what, how we manage that resource.
And what would you say was their prevailing attitude?
No, they want to. It's just a matter, but they keep asking for money.
Well,
They say, if they can give us a little bit more, we can do more.
they thought, any other questions, regarding the Amistad water partnership? No? Thank you, Mr. Garcia.
You're welcome.
Item number 7, water conservation.
Anything to report on water conservation?
I missed the beginning portion of the meeting, so I think I caught the tail end of the FAR.
Yeah, we had the meeting you
FAR
attended.
summary, yeah, so, I mean, we heard a lot of the same things. Everybody in South Texas is suffering from drought, and the Texas Water Development Board was there to basically say that they will be funding and looking into secondary water sources, and they had panelists from other South Texas cities basically explaining the projects that they have, which is desalination, whether it be from seawater or brackish water. They're looking into all of that, and they have a lot of the same problems that we have with aging infrastructure. But one of the things that I wanted to ask Mr. Sonny Hinojosa from the Hidalgo County Irrigation District, I don't know if you all are familiar with him, but he's been in the water industry for many years. We get the question, what is the point of us conserving water if it kind of just all trickles down into the Falcon Reservoir instead of the Amistad Reservoir? And he gave really great insight as to the Amistad Reservoir is essentially, we can use it, right, as our storage. We think of it as not an immediate storage because it's so removed. But if we were to ask the TCQ, this month, don't release that much water because we don't need the, 10,000
Acre feet or?
acre feet this month, send us 8,000 acre feet. Then the Amistad serves as our storage, basically. So that can help with bringing up the percentage level of the Amistad. Right now, as Mr. Garcia said, it went up from 19% to 21%, so it's looking better. Hopefully by the cooler months, it can come back up to 25%, and we can regress back into stage 2.
I think we could go to stage 2 probably in another week or so, because it'll be above the 20%, because it's below 25 that you go to stage 2.
Below 25, yeah.
So we'll be above 20.
So there's a potential of.
It's the matter of the gaining and the volume and what's happening in the watersheds, because I look at the reservoirs on the Mexican side, some of them are gaining, but there are some other areas that they're dropping them, they're using them for irrigation for farmers.
So I think that's something to take into consideration. We can always reach out to TCQ and say, why don't we try and release less this month and see if we can stretch that to last us until the next one.
Good idea, Mr. Ramirez.
No, it's just, I don't think anybody even paid attention to your stages anymore. It looks like everybody just forgot about it, because I'm always driving around. So, I mean, I have to look at another way to work, because we go back to the stage 2, everybody thinks it's gone, since it's not been publicized anymore, it's not on the news. It was just that one time where everybody, but I drive all the time around and there's no respect into whatever stage you're announcing, so that's one thing we have to look at.
I'm not gonna mention any names, but there's a hospital along McPherson that's.
No, but that's what I'm saying, it's like, we know this, but everybody else is, the whole neighborhood, they don't care, they're watering down. there's no rules or, so we have to maybe look at another way to, cause we're going back to the stage 2, right now it's like everybody's still at stage 1. Because the scare is gone, there's no more scare anymore, like, there's no more news report, there's nothing.
I saw several businesses during the rains. The rains were going on and the sprinklers were going full blast.
So these people, these our council members have time to explain to them, maybe it'll help, but no matter what stage we talk about right now, Laredo doesn't care anymore because it was just that 1 month, everybody's all worried about. Now they're just wandering around.
If I may.
Yes.
I'm not-
Yeah, no, he's it's something that we need to look into, and we'll, you know, I'm glad you brought it forward, and hopefully, little PR, and we're gonna continue with the,
Is that something you guys can monitor? Like, do you know,
The bills?
like, how much water we used
Yeah. Your
last
your
month
money.
or previous month?
I'm trying to get some reports.
Your web bill tells you how much you spent.
Unfortunately, we have a drought surcharge that is supposed to be in effect, but unfortunately, our system software isn't capable of doing the work that we needed to do right now. But we are in the process of making sure that should it get lifted and then it come back, it will be in place. Because right now, there is supposed to be a surcharge so that if you use more than 20,000 gallons, you get charged $10 for every 1,000 over the 20,000
For residential.
for residential and
even-
commercial irrigation.
Sorry, even though if we show up like, say we get the KGNS, hey, you know, do a little segment every Friday, let me tell you how the aquifer is, let me tell you guys, remember, every week, just keep reminding them. Even get on the radio, hey guys, just to let you know, so that, because seriously, no one cares.
I did do a couple of radio.
No, but
interviews
it's
last
like, it's every,
You gotta have it every week.
yeah,
Continue.
just continue.
With the hammer effect.
Yes.
we tend to forget.
Hammer it
week.
in.
Definitely.
So,
I don't
thank you,
have a
Rudy.
lot of money in our budget to do
But
whatever.
PSAs are free.
The public service
Not,
announcement.
not
It's a
with
public
like
service
KGNS.
announcement.
Yeah, it is, it's free. Well, I mean, you could, I'm sorry.
We have
Go
to
ahead.
pay the news
Yeah,
station.
Of course, but, and he's right, in a way, you could possibly say, okay, look, we're trying to do a PSA, and we're willing to pay you something, can you give me 50 spots and give me 50 for free? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes, we
and
have-
please, right, because we'll give you those 50 spots for free.
Mhm.
Yeah, but you're not selling anything. You're advising the public
Yeah.
about the situation we're in. Even though we're in the morning, I know, but I'm saying it's what, well, then you get where your, it's like, we need to do something because no matter how much we talk about right now, no one cares anymore.
No, and he's right, but we'll figure it out. I mean, we need to look into it, and hopefully it'll be free. We'll ask. Thank you. Mr. Dominguez?
When the city council was actually asking, and it was Mr. Torres, was he ahead of me? No.
No.
I'll be brief. I remember that we were at the city council meeting, and Mr. Torres in particular, he wanted to know what was going on with the water, why it was being corrected as far as the containment, or how we were gonna bring to the residents only what they should and shouldn't do with the water, and what it was, the stage 2 and stage 3 and so on and so forth. You remember, Angela, you were there, after we were there. And I know that they gave us a direction, or they mentioned that we're gonna be doing town hall meetings. Let me tell you why that's very good. I have stopped and I have questioned the resident owners, not going to their house, but actually outside, say, hey, why you have your sprinkler on? According to your address, you shouldn't have it on. What's that here? And that's one of the best defensive things. I didn't know, nobody told me. Could it be that they don't watch TV, they don't hear the news, they don't hear from us, they don't hear from utilities? I know that utilities got their hands full, I know. See, but at the same time, if we need to correct the community, Mr. Chairman, we need to do something that is gonna get to them. I'm ignorant if there's a budget or not, but we, even get somebody that you mentioned, you need to knock at the door saying, this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen. Now, that's in the residence area. Commercial, I've seen water going off during rain. It's been raining like crazy, and the sprinklers are going off. So, do we need to require that they have a sensor, that if there's rain, it cuts out the sprinklers? It is possible, I mean, we've done it elsewhere. So, even at residential level, there's some sensors that will cut your sprinkler. It's just that if we need for them to know, we need to tell them. And I'm aware that you're short-handed, no budget, or there's a budget. But that's how we need to approach the community. No sabía. And you're right, Mr. Ramirez. There's some people that they don't care. So we need, this is not going away.
But then that's someone also that they don't know, but then you get your bill, why doesn't the bill come with a little, hey, just a reminder, this is a new water base, just like they tell you about the changing of trash. Send it with your bill, we're still at State Street, we're still at this, you have all our emails, you have all our addresses.
And I'll be brief. I'm just going to say real quick. One of my son, he never sees his bill because they pay it automatically. See?
Yeah, me too.
See? Go ahead. So,
Yeah. Well, getting back to the bill, I mentioned that many weeks ago, and it was brought to our attention that, yes, that, you know, they do promote on the bill. I never saw anything.
We did.
Well, I mean,
For
maybe
July,
once.
August, and then.
Yeah, but I
just
never, yeah,
The
like,
August bill, we promoted the drought surcharge actually. We said that's coming soon as well. So we did the stage 3 in July, and then we did the drought surcharge in August, and it'll probably still come out in the September bill, the drought surcharge. But to answer your question, do we have a system that can look at consumption? Some of our meters are AMI, most of them are manually read. Hopefully the meter exchange program.
Now, the meter exchange program will be capable of sending out reports to the customers, and we can monitor it and get better information.
But how many of our like meters are AMI, would you say? Like what percentage?
100%, it's gonna be 100%.
No, now.
Now, I don't have the number.
It's maybe, I don't know. Yeah,
Well,
I don't
they
wanna
have
say for
450s.
because I don't have,
Well, there's
the exact
450s out there, they're the handheld ones, but I'll say maybe 75% of the meters are automated as far as being picked up. The rest are hand.
So the AMI ones are the ones that we can look online, and it would be great if once the meter exchange program happened, we could give access to the public to go in and see, oh, so far this month I've used 4,000 gallons. I wanna allot maybe 2,000 more for the rest of the month, so I'm gonna cut back my usage. But we don't have that in place. I feel like that's a tool that we could promote, and people could go on and look at it and say, okay, I'm okay, I'm doing okay, or guess what, I'm coming close to that 19,000, I wanna reduce it.
I'm sorry, it's like the electricity, you know. Híjole, my bill is $500. Subirle el aire, you know, that, you know. My daughter was living with me, and just an example, you know, and that would be nice if people would be aware, you know, pues sabes que the water's going up, maybe I could, you know, instead of spending 6,000 gallons, I'll spend 4,000. You know, you can work with that, like with the electric thermostat. Nobody wanna put it at 8, nobody's here at the house, you know, it's only my wife and I, and, you know, so all we need is 10 minutes to be downstairs, so. But, you know, that makes very good sense.
The foundation to all that, when we do bring that technology in, is that I gotta have current communication information, current cell number or email, so that we can send out the notices. And somebody, because it'll be automated, so that if somebody is using water above and beyond what they normally did before, it'll send them an alert, and they can go look.
See, that's
That's a good.
That's
I'm
the
glad we're-
program that I'm looking at right now.
yeah, that's why I brought up
Thank
LCC.
you.
I said, get with LCC. I don't even go to LCC, and I'm getting a text, stuff is going down in LCC. I'm like,
Yeah, you mentioned that about 2-3 months ago.
yeah. And then the fire department, I talked to them, and they said,
Yeah.
when we had COVID, they had the same program
We gotta
too.
have everything in place.
And they would send me text messages, and I said, hey, well, they have that program, why don't we use their program? Yeah. All this can listen to that, not care, so this.
It's
Anyways, may I,
On board.
let Mr.
Yes.
Mr.
We
Mr.
have
Blanco,
contact to make sure current.
They do that.
okay, Mr. Blanco has the floor right now.
No.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have a Facebook page. Okay. Aguas, right, where I participate or I send messages, not as often as I would like to, but I don't wanna bore my followers, but one of the things I do mention is to conserve water. If you, per se, miss, were to make some type of a video or a audio message, I'd be more than happy to load it to the page to educate the taxpayer and the consumer as to how, or as to what we have to do to conserve our water, because water, just like oil, there may be a day we run out of it.
Aguas. Aguas. I like the beach. Aguas.
I went looking for, I couldn't find it.
Aguas.
Aguas.
I like it. Very catchy.
It's Acción de Continuidad para Aguas Seguras, right?
Oh,
This began in 2019 when we were going through our oil water notices.
Yeah, look at this.
Now,
This is from August of last year. That's the picture I'm installing. Aerial,
last year,
yes.
I was there not too long ago.
so is that more, is that more or less?
Less.
That's less.
Not.
But I'll give you this picture. so
Oh,
you can-
now I see the difference.
Yeah, so you can see the difference. I mean, he'll give you those pictures so you can load it up.
I'm gonna load that up, and you have my email address, Mr. Garcia, please send it to me.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
I'll make adjustments on them pictures, and I'll do some cropping and stuff.
Like
and
they
I'll
say,
load it.
a picture's worth 1,000 words.
Yes. So does the city of, I know the city of Laredo has a Facebook page, but does the utilities department have an individual Facebook page? Okay, do I have permission to link that up, share that link with my page? Okay, great, that's what I wanted to ask you, because not only will we be running out of water one day, hopefully we don't, but the city utilities advisory committee will also be running out of members one day. Seems like nobody wants to really get involved in public service because it's just so dirty. I mean, at a national level, I mean, we're eating cats and dogs. And I mean,
Well,
there seems to be.
About the tamales I had less.
I mean, the desire to control our nation's pocket of probably $9 trillion annually, it has no bounds. It's like, we have to control it by any means. And if it means scaring the people half to death because immigrants are gonna eat your dogs and cats, well, that's fair play. That's where our nation has come to, but it all comes down to people not showing up to vote, but that's just another story. I can go on forever being a grumpy old man, viejito amargado, one of the things he touched on.
Let's just keep the politics.
Huh? Let's keep ours, but anyway, one thing, the usage of water is very important, but anyway, I'll share that on my page. I'll also share on my page the link to see these meetings, if people wanna see these meetings, so, as myself, as you guys are doing, like, sharing my part or doing that part to educate the people, because the people do fall down and have symptoms of passing out when they see their new bill, especially when they see the new bill in November when it goes up 5%. You know, ¿por qué? You know, why?
In October, we should, I'm sorry,
No,
we should say
I'm
that, in the statement, should say, aguas. November's coming. New bill. I like it.
Well,
Very catchy.
it's like that county said, we raised the rates, just on electricity, and they're gonna get charged, and, oh man, I'm gonna be very careful when I take a shower, I'm not gonna leave it running, go out, come back, and then get in, when I water, I'm gonna be I'm not gonna wash my car today because I washed too much. You know, that's the problem, that they need to control their usage. You know, I looked at how much I'm like, dude, I barely spent it, yeah, because I take my time, I don't leave the water running, wash every day, you know, so that's the thing, that they're not scared enough, they're like, nah.
Well, it's just kind of like yesterday at that border binational symposium. They admitted, Mexico did, we're wasteful.
Yeah.
We're wasteful on our use of water.
What happened, excuse me, what happened when the gas went up to $5? I'm gonna make sure when I take off, I'm gonna go to this building but when gas is cheap, oh, come back. So you have to learn how to control, you know, who are you gonna tell off? Oh, the gas is $6 now. No, you have to be very careful when you do certain things. You're gonna carpool, you gotta do whatever you gotta do. Same thing with electricity. It goes up, no one's gonna care, it's too bad, you still need it, right? Hey, 79.9 está aquí. You know, I have a big house and my bill is $150 a month. Why? 79. I got with the roof, they put that foam. I put the foam. The windows, they're covered with the tint. I mean, there's certain things you could do to control everything.
Yeah, that's being efficient.
But our water right now, we're throwing it away, and no one gets scared, you know?
Amiga, can I do maybe
Mr.
getting
Mayor,
off
so we
topic
could
a little bit,
move on? 'Cause
Conservation.
Really quick, I think that people won't pay attention until you open that tap and there's no water coming out.
Yeah, that's what I
That's
get.
what, and I'm not sure, I hate to get off topic, but when I was in the Navy, I was on a carrier. And the carrier would, you know, desalinize their own water. And we always had conservation. This is back in the 90s, right? Late 80s, early 90s. We'd be out at sea for 6 months and they'd tell us, stop wasting water because they will shut it off. And what would happen? You would be in the shower, boom, it would shut off. And over there we had like the little spigots that you would have to press and hold, and you were out of water. And you were out until the tanks would build up, and people would, I mean, complain and everything, but the only way to get people's attention was when we were out of water. And it would happen, I mean, I'm not gonna get into it, but people would get mad about it as well, but it's like, hey man, the toilets are not working.
And then they're not concerned.
Right, and that's the only way that people would pay attention when they would shut the water down.
That's what I'm saying, the rates increase.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you very much, very good points, guys. I mean, I really enjoyed this conversation.
They should have.
So we were at the water conservation, right? Anything else that you might want to share with us?
I think that's pretty much it.
Thank you very much. Item number 8.
Town hall meetings, there
Yes, sir.
haven't been any town hall meetings that have been set up yet. I know that's one of the discussions that we were having. And during the town hall meetings, what I'd like to do is to have water conservation, discussions, and, what the situation is in our reservoirs, and what measures people need to take, and provide education material during the town hall meetings. When they start setting them up, because I know council is one that's wanting to set those up.
Right.
Any comments from members?
I just wanted to, if I'm not mistaken, when we went to council, they said that they were going to do the first one, and then that we would kind of take over the rest, right? Maybe
Yeah.
do one per quarter.
They want to have them quarterly, but it's a matter of, I know, right now they're busy with other items.
Yeah.
Walking the block.
Okay, thank
I'll
you.
be real quick. I'll be interested in joining the town meeting. even
No,
if
I'll
it's
let you
not-
know, once I have a meeting, right now I
Yeah, I
have.
know, no, even if it's not in my district that I'm representing, because some of the constituents, they might think that it's too tight hearing it from staff, from the board of director. See, sometimes you need someone from the public to talk to the public. See, okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez. Okay, item number 9. The topics for next meeting?
The topic for the next meeting is gonna be the ordinance regarding the single family, that's what I was gonna bring up.
Ordinance of what, sir?
The ordinance for the single family, or the commercial single family.
What
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez was asking earlier.
Thank you.
And see, we can follow up on the PSAs.
Okay, yeah.
That would be number two.
I have a quote, I have a quote of how much that would cost, so I can send that over to you, Mr. Garcia.
Yeah, what I'd like to do is also coordinate it with, our PAO office.
Yeah, actually, they were the ones who were able to get me that quote, because I went to have a meeting with them, I think, 2 weeks ago. And I said, can we coordinate, can I have your expertise and help in promoting the stage 3 restrictions along with the drought surcharge? And they said, of course, and so they're going to be reposting our irrigation schedule onto their Facebook, and they offered to help me with the PSAs, like getting quotes and those free slots like you mentioned, so I will get that quote to you.
Thank you. Mr. Bianco?
This is, probably in the distant future, but nevertheless, I may not be here, but the city of Laredo will. If there are these desalinization plants, I believe that's what they're called, desalinization plants, if they are, constructed, will the water being produced in these plants only be directed to the communities in the state of Texas, or will they be to add or increase the water levels at, per se, Falcon Dam and Amistad Dam?
Well,
Because I know that's a long shot question, because
the
I'm being a
concept,
little greedy here. I don't see it in the best faith for the taxpayer in the state of Texas, and where we have to pay for the process, and then Mexico gets to siphon that water out for free.
I don't think it's gonna be one where you fill up the reservoirs, it's gonna be one where you're gonna have a pipe system.
Okay.
And then communities can tap off if they wanna participate. And what I'm looking at is what I refer to it as the Texas Aqueduct Project.
Texas Aqueduct Project?
Texas Aqueduct Project, that's what I'm calling it.
Okay.
TAP,
Oh, tap?
T-A-P,
Okay. Catchy.
TAP, Texas Aqueduct
Out
Project.
west.
Yeah.
What's going to tap?
Because,
And it's not up and running, but that's what you
but
call
that's the
it.
concept I'm looking at, and I'm looking at highways having corridors or identifying this transmission line. Because you're gonna look, it's not gonna be a single line, it's gonna be a multiple lines, because you're gonna have water going up and down, say, the system. Because you'll have maybe a desalinization at different points in the system.
Okay.
And then you'll feed this line, and then whoever wants to participate, you'll participate, and you purchase water wholesale. And it's a system that I've discussed with several groups, but the problem is, who's gonna start it? Is it a public-private venture? Who's gonna be wanting to carry it? Because the state doesn't want to, they want the communities to. So it's a matter of setting up somebody that's gonna be a seller of water, just like these oil companies. You're gonna have a water company that's gonna sell water through a major transmission line. You tap the line, you're metered, you use it, you pay for it.
Well, Mr. Garcia, remember me, right? When you're up in DC pushing all those good buttons. Or just take me with you.
Out
To
west.
be it. You know, if you don't want an advisor that's gonna be like a thorn on your side. No, but I feel, and now off quote, I know this is, it has nothing to do with City of Laredo, but once Big Oil starts running out of oil, they're gonna go into these plants. That's just my comment. They have the money to do it, and they have Congress that's gonna support them.
No, the talk is already out there, speculation is out there, it's just a matter of who's gonna be the one taking the lead. And, you know, I've discussed it with several groups, several companies that are out there that are wanting to invest in this, especially, companies coming out of Israel that have been doing desalination for 40+ years. You know, there's technology out there, that is changing, that is improving to where the cost is coming down, but it's gonna be at a premium too. Because you gotta move it up and down the state and to the areas that are having issues.
Members, thank you very much, Mr. Blanco, Mr. Velu, Mr. Dominguez, Mr. Ramirez, Mr. Solis, and I want to thank you all for being here today. And I was very happy that we were able to meet.
No, it's good. I'm glad we had a quorum and put it down for the for the record.
So, thank you very much. Do I have a motion to?
Motion?
Me estoy riendo porque pasó como el agua, nomás empezaron a correr gente y todos vinimos.
There's a motion on the floor.
Second.
We hear a second.
Second.
Okay, there's a second by Mr. Solis. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much for doing it.